Come on in, Martin.
You were anxious to know the results of the latest tests on Brenda McGillis.
Not good?
Her blood pressure's a little bit more elevated than yesterday, as well as the red cell count. I believe it's imperative to begin treatment immediately.
So you don't think that bed rest in itself will stabilize?
Hasn't helped so far. Most of the cases of toxemia that I've treated have responded to vigorous therapy in the initial stages. Hopefully, we'll have the same luck with Brenda.
But it...
Larry, I'm sorry to barge in like this, but this just won't keep.
Martin, 10 minutes?
Fine. In the meantime, I'll discuss the alternatives.
Thank you very much.
Vicky has disappeared off Lantana Mountain. Yes, along with Tina and Cord. Now, the state troopers have been combing the area all night long, but they haven't found any trace of her. And Larry, I really need your help.
So, how long you been at this?
I don't know. I lost track of the time.
Would you like some help?
I can handle it.
Right. I think I'll help you anyway.
I don't want any... Don't touch anything! Could kill us all.
Of course, I was trying to think you'd gotten lost on the upper level.
Well, there's nothing to worry about because Roger just confirmed my discovery last night.
The control center runs the atomic generator as well as the electrics in Eterna.
We found so many spare parts. Now, it's not everything we need, but at least it's a start. Honey, isn't that great?
Well, what's so great about it? We need to find a way out of here, not some nuclear thing.
How's your discovery going to save us?
Well, we may not have found a path to the surface, but I think we found the next best thing, a way to communicate with the outside world. Can't miss. Court's a whiz with this kind of stuff.
And with everything Roger knows about Eterna, between the two of us, we're going to be able to rig up some device that's going to get us out of here.
Well, how? I mean, we can't just tap into a phone line or anything.
No, honey, but we can build this transmitter, right? And we can project this radio signal.
A radio? Is that really possible?
Well, we don't know until we try it, but if these tremors have opened up any fissures or cracks in this mountain, there's no reason why we can't just beam a signal up to the surface.
Well, yeah, but somebody has to hear it, so don't they need some kind of receiver?
Well, honey, I didn't say it wasn't going to be difficult. In fact, it's going to be very difficult. But all we have to do is work out this SOS signal. We start sending it up, and if somebody's passing by with a CB or something, they pick it up and they hear us.
And then hopefully they can trace that, and it'll bring them to the entrance to the tunnel that we came in.
If they find out where we are, they can start digging, and then they can reach us.
Okay, well, let's not get too excited, all right? It's going to take time. But right now, we just need to scrounge around and find the necessary spare parts.
Better to scrounge for parts than to search for fool's gold. When should we start?
We can start right now. Vicky and Tina, why don't you go and tell everybody else what we're looking for, and Roger and I'll go see if we can put something together.
Okay, let's do it.
Oh, be careful, though. Those tremors could start any time again.
Yeah, that's why we need to get moving. Come on, Roger. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, let's go tell everybody, huh?
Wait. I have to talk to you.
Well, sure. What about it?
Tina, last night, Roger told me the most unbelievable, incredible story about when he and I were lovers.
You just about scared me half to death. Why are you yelling at me? I was only offering you some help.
I told you I don't want any help.
Trying to prove you're a better man than Roger Gordon? Maybe we'll all follow you if you scare us half to death. You know, you were losing it before we got trapped down here, but after Danton Gordon's speech last night, in my opinion, you could be locked up with Leo.
Danton Gordon's speech made me angry, not crazy. It brought back a lot of terrible memories.
About your parents. Michael, I'm so very sorry. And I feel a great deal of sympathy for you. But you getting angry at us and taking it out on us is not going to bring your parents back, and it is not going to do anything about the terrible tragedy that Roger's father created here. Please.
Some of my memories might save our lives. You see this sign? Authorized personnel meant Danton Gordon and his cronies. They booby-trapped this closet to protect the pharmaceuticals and the other supplies that they stored here. I remember my father warned me particularly about this room and this closet.
Did Danton Gordon have anything to do with that cage that came down on Tina?
Yes, of course. He took great pains to secure areas that contained items he couldn't replace.
Well, what about the rest of these things outside of the closet?
I've gone over everything very carefully, and the closet is the only unsafe area.
I didn't realize. I'm sorry, Michael. I was so careless. It won't happen again. I won't touch anything in the closet. You know, you might be pleased to know that you have taught me another valuable lesson. I realize now that my priorities were totally out of whack. You see, I thought that death was something that happened to other people. But now that you've made me realize that we could very well die here, the gold, it just doesn't mean a thing to me. No. I'm going to concentrate all of my energies on getting us out of here and seeing my son again. That's the most important thing to me, is seeing my son. Michael, look, if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know.
Sure.
You're an Eternal. I had the same reaction when I woke up. For a second, I had no idea where I was.
Have you been awake long?
Mm-mm. Did you sleep well?
Like an old grizzly bear. Did I snore?
I don't think so. Listen, about last night.
What about last night? We both needed some rest and we got it, right? That was the point.
Yeah, but
Christine, look. We're two good friends who got trapped in an underground city. And you were scared last night and you needed some company. Now, I hate to admit this, you know, being the kind of man I am, but I was kind of scared too, and I'm grateful for your company.
I just don't want you to think.
Well, look, the only thing there is to think is that we got to get up now, okay? We'll get some breakfast. Aren't you hungry? A little bit? Okay.
Sweetheart,
Dad,
what the hell is going on here?
I can
I
explain.
spent all night worrying about you, and all the time you were with this pig.
Dad!
I don't blame you. I know exactly whose idea this was. I'll kill you for taking advantage of my daughter!
Wait a minute. Vicky, Tina, Cord, Gabrielle, Roger Gordon, and Michael Grand?
Yes, it seems that way.
That's bizarre.
I know, it's like they have vanished, Larry. Now, the troopers have managed to find their cars, but there's no sign of them.
Well, you know, I'll do anything I can to help.
Well, I've got a theory about this whole situation. I think it's tied in with this plot against Vicky, with her missing daughter, and with the missing year in Vicky's life.
So you're buying Christine's story that Michael Grand was involved in a scam?
Well, it seems likely.
Well, then how do Gabrielle and Roger Gordon fit?
Well, that's an even longer story. I'll explain that to you later. But right now, Larry, you were there when Vicky had the baby. You delivered her baby, right? And you know that Lysander Clare hypnotized Vicky to wipe out every memory she had of that particular year.
So how does that fit in with the disappearance of Vicky now?
Well, did Vicky or her father or Lysander Clare, did they mention anything about Lantano Mountain?
Well, Lysander might have mentioned when he hypnotized her, but remember, I wasn't there for that. I was there simply to make sure that Vicky was all right physically, and then Victor sent me away.
Look, Larry, her father built that cabin up in the mountains years ago. Vicky spent an awful lot of time there. Now, think.
All right, we went from New York to Landfill. Nikki Smith was in the car. She was ranting and raving about being kidnapped. She went into labor. That's when the baby was born. That's when Vicky reappeared, and then... Wait a minute. Vicky did say something. She said something about a mountain and a field of poppies?
Poppies? Larry, you know when Tina and Cord were looking for a home site to build their house, I pulled out a photo survey for them to look at, and there was a picture of a field of poppies. But the picture disappeared.
Leo, you've got it all wrong. I did not take advantage of your daughter.
You sweet-talked her into sleeping with you, and now you want to pretend it was her idea? I'll teach you to lay your filthy hands on my girl!
Stop it! Leave Wade alone. Nothing happened last night. I was frightened, and he stayed with me, and we fell asleep. That is all.
What kind of threats did he make, Christine? How did he convince you to cover for him, to protect him?
Protect him? He's the one who's been protecting us. If it weren't for Wade, you'd be lying dead in some sleazy motel room. He distracted the cops so I could get the medicine to you. Then he got us fake IDs, took us to Canada so I could get a doctor to take care of you. He left his restaurant, and he left his wife, and now he is trapped down here in this tunnel because of you. Where the hell do you get off attacking him?
Christina,
You're so freaked out about this gold that you're not even thinking straight anymore.
Christina,
No, it is not enough. I am sick and tired of defending a man who can't even admit when he is wrong. Just get out of my sight. Come on, Daddy. Go look for your precious gold, Daddy, since that is the only thing in this world that means anything to you.
You and Roger were lovers?
Yes. Actually, it's not quite as incredible as it seems.
What do you mean? You mean you suspected this already?
Do you remember the dreams that I've been having, the ones I told you about?
Yeah, when you were a young girl and this guy was calling out to you.
Yes, and I could never see his face, but I knew that the feelings were so intense. Yesterday, after Roger revealed that this place had been his home for a long time, I started having all those feelings all over again. It was as if his memories and mine were somehow connected.
Did you tell him about this connection?
Oh, yes. I kept asking him if we had known each other before my father gave him the money to start EnviroCare. And for a long time, he denied it. And then finally, he confessed. As a young man, he had found his way out of Eterna, and he met a young woman who lived on the mountain.
You? Well, what happened then?
We fell in love. Very deeply in love. And then I had his child.
His child? Oh, no, this doesn't mean that Sarah's gonna go running around calling me Aunt Tina, does it?
No fear of that. Isn't that funny? You made the exact same mistake I made. No, Sarah is not your niece. It's Megan.
Megan?
Yeah. I know it takes a bit of getting used to, doesn't it? It's only because we all know Sarah very well, and Megan is more of a stranger, that's all.
Yeah, that's a nice way of putting it. If you ask me, she's a selfish, self-centered actress type.
I think all that is just a facade, Tina. Come on, we've all had to fight other people's impressions of us, haven't we?
All right. All right, for your sake, I will give her a chance.
Thank you, darling. You are right about one thing, of course. She does seem to act as if the world belongs to her. Given the way she feels about me, I think I'd give just about anything in the world to see her face when she finds out that I'm her mother.
Vicki, you will get a chance to tell her that. You're gonna see her again. I promise. Cord is gonna get that radio thing fixed so we can get out of here. I know. God, Vicki, watch out.
Gabrielle.
This
There's no need to be so shocked. I thought since we're in a Turner, we should do as the attorneys do.
What are you doing in that thing?
Well, you didn't expect me to sit in those grubby old clothes any longer, did you? Yeah, there are loads more of these uniforms. I suggest you go and get something that fits.
I would rather die than put on that Halloween costume.
Halloween.
Tina, do you have to keep talking about dying? Isn't it bad enough that we're stuck in this godforsaken place? Do we have to do it in bad taste?
You always had a certain flair about you, didn't you, Gabrielle?
Don't you see that you're making a statement by wearing this? You're giving in by wearing it. You're saying that you have no hope that we're ever going to get out of here.
That is absurd. These are clean clothes. For heaven's sakes, Vicky, tell her.
No, Gabrielle. It's much more than that. I seem to remember you showing up at Ace's Halloween party in an outfit very similar to this. You and Michael Grant. Of course, at the time, you said that you were Olympic athletes, didn't you? Remember? Just before I fainted at the sight of you?
You must believe me. It was Michael's idea that we wear those costumes. I had no idea what they meant.
Oh, yeah. Sure you didn't.
Michael has used me the same way he used everyone else to find Eterna. If I had known, I never...
Well, you do know now, don't you? We all know now. Because of Michael Grant's lust for the gold, we are all stuck down here. Until we can get out of here, the best thing to do is survive as well as we can, even if it includes wearing these uniforms.
Vicky.
Honey, this is no time to worry about making a fashion statement. It is also no time for recriminations. Our first priority has got to be survival. To do that, we have to work together. I'm not exactly the picture of cleanliness either. I might just as well change. Where do I get a uniform?
They're in the supply room. Michael is there, and he's organized everything.
Good. Let's go. Come on.
Are you okay?
Yeah. A little sore, but I'll be fine.
I can't believe he hit you.
Well, he just misunderstood. He walked in here and saw us in bed and assumed the worst. My guess is he's not the first father to make that mistake.
I should have listened to you in the first place, turned him into the police, and none of this would have happened.
Look, Christine, your father came to you for help. You couldn't turn him away.
I should have. You know, all my life I have pampered him. I have bolstered his fragile ego. I have made excuses for his mistakes. I have gone along with him in complaining about people or making excuses for his failures. I have gone along with his childish whims and his weird beliefs, and now he's totally lost it.
I think he's sick again. The fever's back. That's the problem.
That might be it, but now all of a sudden he's gone totally overboard. He's gone over the edge. He's going to take us all with him.
No, he won't do that because I won't let him. Christine, you're giving in to your fears. Don't do it. Look, we're still alive, aren't we? We still have hope. Come on. Christine?
I'm okay. And I will deal with this myself.
Man, I tell you, I would trade everything we've got right here for one set of needle-nose pliers.
Yeah, I wish the hell I could remember where the workshop is. They must have dozens of parts and tools down there.
You sure there was one down there?
Oh, yeah. I've never been there, but that's where my mother got the tools when we opened up the escape tunnel. Out of here. I wish I'd been more observant.
Oh, man, I wish I'd been more observant when I was in science class all those years. All right, look, I got a wire right here. I think it needs to hook up to something you got.
Okay, here. Try this one.
All right. Man, I can't keep my hands from sweating.
Yeah, I got the same problem.
What are you talking about? You're Mr. Cool, aren't you?
Yeah, bad chance.
No, I mean it. I mean, you were so cool the way you handled Leo and Michael. I couldn't believe it. You were just cool, composed. I would have strangled both of them.
Then we would have had 2 less people to help find an escape route.
Tell me about it. Those guys aren't interested in getting out of here. All they're interested in finding that damn gold.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Oh, okay, look, let's wrap this around these 2 posts, and I think we should give it a shot.
Okay.
Ready? Man, back to the drawing board. How do you do it? How do you keep from exploding?
Well, experience, I guess, but believe me, I've made my share of mistakes.
Oh, haven't we all? I guess the trick is just keep surviving, huh?
Well, I think you have to go on instinct, you know, especially when you get into a tricky and unpredictable and dangerous situation.
Sure, you mean like with Leo and Michael, right?
Yeah. Say, look, you got any more screws?
Yeah, here's one right here.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yep.
Oh, man, so where do you get all your experience with crisis management? First time you escaped Eterna, right?
Well, I had some here, but I got most of it after I left.
Hey, yeah, I remember Sarah told me about those 2 times you lived through 2 different avalanches. You kidding me?
Yeah, that was more luck, I think, than knowledge or instinct. But the main thing is, I survived.
Shit. Listen, you never did tell me about that first time you escaped from me, Turner. Oh, look, I'm sorry if I brought up a touchy subject there.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's just concentrate on getting out of here alive, shall we?
Okay.
Wait here.
Whoa! Hey, we got some. Oh, we're gonna contact you outside right now. Oh, dude, we are going home, pal. We are going home. Quick, get the microphone. Plug it in. Let's go. Let's go. We got it. Yes, sir. Okay. Hello. Breaker. Whoa, wait. No, come on. Man, it was going.
Wait. Turn up the volume. See what that does.
Nothing. It was working 2 seconds ago. I just plugged it in. What happened? Put the top on. Oh, what is... It was working 2 seconds ago. I don't believe this.
Well, back to the drawing board.
Oh, man.
Have a cord. I know you're disappointed, but you got to keep your spirits up.
Good thing we didn't go running out of here telling everybody we had fixed this thing. We would have got their hopes all up for nothing. I don't know how much more this Tina can take, you know. She misses our son like crazy. When she was in New York for this design seminar, she called him, she talked to me for like 2 seconds, and then she'd get him on the phone, and 2 of them would just cut up. I don't have to tell you about missing family, do I?
Yeah. Well, Tina seems to be holding up pretty well.
Yeah, but she's wearing down, man. I can see it every minute.
You two have a very special relationship.
Yeah, I guess we've had enough grief to last 3 lifetimes. I don't know, it just got to a point where we just had to put our stubbornness aside and just really admit that we loved each other. And I felt bad that, that Sarah got caught up in all that.
Oh, yeah, well, me too, but it was obvious that you two just weren't meant to be. You just hold on to what you've got, sticking by the people you love. That's what life's all about.
Listen, do you regret ever spending so much time on your expeditions, spending so much time away from your family?
Oh, I regret many mistakes I've made, missed opportunities.
Look, these wires, they're all just too old and too brittle to do anything with. I tell you what, I'm gonna go find the ladies. Vicky's a genius at finding things when you need them the most.
Like strawberries.
I found this in one of the safe shelves. I decided to make the best of a perfectly horrible situation.
Why aren't you all with Roger?
He and Cord are trying to rig up a transmitter to send a radio signal to the surface.
That's why I decided that they should come in here and be fitted for their own uniforms.
Yeah, well, I think I'm going to pass, okay? There's no way I'm going to wear that ugly thing.
Tina feels...
They're clean.
Yeah, well, she also feels that it's a symbol of giving up hope if she wears one of these uniforms.
We'll carry the hope inside us, Tina, not on our backs. Oh, Vicki, listen, everything's marked by size here.
Is there anything here that Cord could use for the transmitter? I know he needs wires and things.
No, there's nothing like that down here, but there's canned goods, and those might come in handy. Take whatever you need.
Not a whole lot of a selection here.
The city predated frozen gourmet dinners, Tina.
Huh. Hydroponic supplies? What's that?
Well, there's a hydroponic garden here somewhere in the city. I don't know exactly where, but I remember eating lots of fresh vegetables, so it's important to find the garden and plant these seeds.
Well, these will take weeks to grow. We're not going to be here that long. What happened to all that hope you were just talking
I
about?
have still got it, but we might be down here for a while before we find our way out. I mean, we don't want to go looking for the medical supplies after somebody's injured.
Got a very good point there, Tina.
My foresight surprises you.
Ah, yes, and your industry. Yesterday you were determined to cause chaos and rebellion.
Would you two excuse us? I think we need some privacy.
I'm not leaving her alone here with you.
I'll be all right, Tina.
Vicky!
This conversation is long overdue.
Come on, Tina.
It was a picture of a field of poppies, but the picture disappeared, Larry. Now, Vicky told me that Tina was convinced Gabrielle took it.
Why would she want a picture of a field of poppies?
I don't know. but she was very close to Michael Grand.
Well, why would he want the picture?
I don't know that either.
Now, tell me about this underground city.
Oh, that's a thing. I think it's a pipe dream of Michael's. I suppose it could exist, but...
But Vicky, you say dreamed about a tunnel into the mountain?
Yes, yeah. You know the men that kidnapped Vicky to try and change her back into Nikki Smith? They were looking for a special place on the mountain, a place that Nikki Smith only knew about. Maybe the city does exist. In that tunnel that Vicky dreamed about, there was an explosion. Maybe the explosion closed off the tunnel.
Well, maybe Gabrielle and Michael Grand fooled Vicky into going up to try and find it.
No, they wouldn't risk hypnotizing Vicky. Or would they?
Well, wait a minute. First of all, Cord and Tina wouldn't allow that, and I'm sure Roger Gordon wouldn't.
Yeah, but what if they're not with Vicky? Larry, there is a key to this thing someplace. I'm just not putting my finger on it.
I wish there was something I could do to help you, Clint.
I'll work it out.
Yeah.
I'll be in touch.
Please do. Yeah.
Hi.
Brenda, what are you doing out of bed?
Oh, I'm fine. Dr. Spencer said it was a good idea that I got a little exercise. What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
Now, Larry, I can tell in your voice. What's wrong, huh?
Did Dr. Spencer come down to see you?
Yes, Dr. Spencer did come to see me about the test results.
So you know the steps he's going to take to...
I already knew
Baptist.
those. It wasn't necessary for him to tell me, and I told him, thank you very much, Dr. Spencer, but I am not going to consent to that sort of treatment.
It's hard to get me to try anything new.
Wait a minute, Brenda, we're not talking about a sprained ankle here.
Larry, I know how serious toxemia is, but I also know the drastic measures that you go through
not
to
that
stabilize
drastic,
it. Oh,
first of
right,
all.
cutting all the salt out of my diet.
taking
That's
too much salt already.
I
You're retaining
am not
fluids.
taking
Liar.
too much salt, and my fluid retention is quite normal. I read the charts,
Your
thank
blood
you.
pressure's off the scale.
Well, my
This is-
blood pressure will be fine if I could just
so-
get some bed rest. Listen, Larry, I am not going to feed my baby a bunch of tranquilizers and diuretics for the next 3 months. And if Dr. Spencer thinks he's going to come waltzing in here and pump me full of drugs until I come to full term, he's got another thought coming to him. Now, this baby has been through enough already. I am not going to shock its little system anymore, Larry. That's the end.
Your baby's little system is in for an even worse shock if you reject the treatment, Brenda. You're risking not only his life, but your own.
Listen, this is not a life and death situation. I know that.
I understand you fear about the drugs. Well, we can give you minimal doses. We can monitor the baby without stopping. We can, and if there's a problem, we can stop the treatment. We are in control now. Damn it, don't you do this to me.
Larry, I thought this was my health that we were talking about.
Well, I'm just as worried about your health as you are. I don't want anything to happen to you, Brenda. I care too much about you to risk losing you.
You look great.
Terrible.
How you doing?
Thanks for trying to make me feel better.
You know what might make us feel better if we could, we'd find a laundry and get our clothes washed?
I think I'd rather try to find an exit.
Okay, that's a good idea. What I'm thinking is we covered the north side of the tunnels yesterday. Maybe we could try the south side today, and you never know. We might walk through a door and find ourselves on a white sandy beach, being met by the cool blue-green ocean. And we could just lay down on the sand and catch some rays. And don't laugh. Stranger things have happened. And in this place, I'd believe anything.
I think I'd settle for an exit.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's find it.
I think that maybe if I went to a different direction, we could cover more ground.
Well, that's fine. I just, maybe we should make a plan so that we can meet up and I know that you're okay.
You don't have to worry about me. I can take care of myself.
I know I don't have to worry about you, but friends do that. I mean, that's what being friends is all about.
I just don't want any more trouble like last night.
Look, Christine, the trouble last night was caused by your father. He's got some problems. And once we get out of here, we'll get him some help.
Still, I think that it would be better if we...
Oh. If, I sleep in my own bedchamber tonight?
Yeah.
Okay. If that's what you want, that's fine. Be careful, okay?
Well, your taste in uniforms is lousy, Governor. But your taste in distilled liquor is excellent. What's that? A little early for a cocktail, you think? Well, maybe by the Eterna clock, but not by Leo Cromwell's. After all, my daughter just told me that she never wants to see me again. That should entitle me to a generous libation, don't you think? Feet are cold. Drown a fever. Oh, even the liquor's turned against me. What the hell is happening? Why has it all come to nothing? I should have found the gold by now. Somebody should have found a way out of here. I've got to get Christine out of here and away from those monsters who are turning her against me. Where could they have hidden that gold? If I could only find it, then maybe, just maybe, she could find it in her heart to forgive me. I gotta find it. That's the only way. That's the only way.
My actions yesterday and last night were a total disgrace.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you.
Danton Gordon's speeches brought back all the horrible nightmares of my childhood. And all I could feel was rage and despair, a deeper and wilder despair than I felt when I was 8 years old, and realized I might be doomed to live and die here.
You took that anger out on Roger. He was a child when he lived here, too. He wasn't responsible for his father's actions.
I know that. But I couldn't reconcile myself to that or to the possibility that we were going to be down here for a while. I couldn't sleep, so I came in here to go through supplies and start getting things organized. I realized it was time to get down to the business of surviving, of helping us all to survive.
From anger and hatred to noble dedication. Quite a journey of the soul.
Yes, I realize it's not all that noble, but at least it is a step in the right direction. God knows my father tried to show me the way. He knew there was a revolution coming, and he tried to prepare me for it. I was so frightened, however, by the atmosphere of hatred down here that I don't remember much about what he said exactly, except something to the effect that a man's strength is born of suffering, and his character is molded more by his failures than his triumphs. But that didn't sink in much to a terrified 8-year-old.
Apparently not to the confident adult you have become either.
No, you are exactly right. I have been obsessed all these years with trying to avenge the murder of my parents. Every deal I closed, every friend I made was a means to that end.
I think your father would be very disappointed in you, Michael.
I think he would be, too. And I had a lot of time to think about that last night. And for the first time in my life, I have come to terms with what happened to my parents and with how I have lived my life since then. I am more ashamed of myself than they ever could be. And more to the point, I am deeply sorry for the pain and anguish that I caused you and your family. And I am hoping that you will be able to forgive me somehow.
Tell me something. How ashamed would you be if you had found the gold? What would my pain and suffering, what kind of difference would that have made if you'd been successful in your quest?
Believe me, the gold doesn't matter to me anymore.
Of course it doesn't. You never found it. And you know perfectly well that if you found it now, we'd never let you walk out of here with it. So you just turned your golden dreams into golden words of contrition. You're looking for absolution. Well, you're not going to get it, Michael Grand. Not from me. Not ever.
Tina?
Oh, good. You got my note.
Go. Oh, what's the matter? What are you doing in here?
Ta-da!
Oh, hey, check this out. Honey, this looks great. This is wonderful. Where'd you get all this stuff?
Well, I found the dishes and the silverware when I was looking for stuff for the transmitter. Of course, I didn't find anything for the transmitter, but and the flower I made. It's supposed to be a daisy.
Well, isn't that special? Look at that. That's just about the prettiest little daisy I've ever seen. Hey, you got food, too.
Yep, there's stew for both of us in cans. Of course, mine's chicken, yours is beef, unless, of course, you want it the other way around.
No, honey, that's fine. I tell you, I am so hungry, I will eat anything you put in front of me. Oh, please, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
You.
Thank you.
Wow.
How's it going with the transmitter?
Slow, honey. I tell you, if we can get a hold of some decent wire, I bet we could fix that thing in no time.
Well, how about we both go look for that after we finish our delicious lunch?
That would be great with me. Where's Vicky?
She's with Michael Grant.
Oh, honey, please tell me you didn't leave the two of them alone.
It wasn't my choice, believe me. She kicked me out of there. I think she wanted to yell at him or something now that she knows the whole story.
What story?
Well, I'll tell you all about it. Just dig in, okay?
All right. Let's see what we got here. What's the matter? What was food?
There were worms in it.
Oh, honey, it's all right. It's okay.
It's not okay. Why do you keep trying to tell me it's okay? We are locked down here. We are underground and stuck here without any food. I mean, if the walls don't cave in on us, we're just going to starve to death.
Down in the valley so low. Hang your head up. Hear the wind blow. Hear the wind blow, dear. Hear the wind blow. Hang your head over. Whoa! Whoa! This is no time for a swim. Not when I have found the most wonderful thing that life has to offer. Besides gold. Oblivion. And to think there are bottles and bottles of this wonderful elixir all stashed away. Just like the gold! This is my kingdom. And I am the king. Oi. Oh! You stupid light. You cost me my magic elixir. is this.
I don't blame you for hating me. I just hope that we can be civil to one another, not for my sake, but for the sake of the others.
Oh, you don't give a damn about the others. Your only concern is to protect yourself. Men like you don't like to fail. I'm quite sure you will continue to ply on my emotions and my vulnerability, but you will be wasting your time. You know something, Michael? If we ever get out of this tomb, I will have you prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thou shalt not steal.
What happened?
Thou shalt not steal.
To get out of here!
It's no use.
But my kids say they'll take the lock. Do something.
No, the lock's on the
Is there
outside.
another way out of here? What is that noise?
Cover your ears.
What is it? Stop it! Make it stop!